Hey everyone, welcome to another video. This one I'm going to show you how to run Need for Speed Underground and make it look its best. The game in the state that it's in doesn't let you go to 1980 and higher for the widescreen. So with this, this will let you do that. It'll make the game look better. So what we're going to want to do is go ahead and open up your browser. Now you want to make sure that you have the no CD crack available for the game. It will not work properly without that. I can't tell you where to get that, so you have to find that on your own, by Googling. So let's go ahead and hit the websites here. So the first thing we're going to do is go over to the DgVoodoo site. You don't need this one, this is optional, but if you like to have scan lines, I'll go ahead and download this. So we're going to go to this spot right here and download the latest version, which is 2.84.1. So go ahead and download that. Then we're going to go to the NFSU extra options, and we're going to go ahead and click on this spot right here. So download that file. We're going to navigate to the last website. This is for the widescreen fix, and we're going to go ahead and download the Need for Speed Underground widescreen fix. So that's this one here. So go ahead and download that. Once you have those files downloaded, go ahead and open up your folder that contains the files. And once you have that, you should see this on there. The DgVoodoo is not in this folder. That's because I already have it installed on my computer. So you're going to have these two files and the DgVoodoo on that spot. Then you're going to open up the folder where you want to install the game. Now in my case, the game's already installed, so it's going to look a little bit different than what you see. You're going to see more folders on here. But let's go ahead and get this done. So you're going to go here to your downloads folder. Go ahead and right click on the files. You're going to extract that to their own folders. Once you've done that, you can go ahead and get rid of the zip files. So first one you're going to do is just go ahead and extract this. So you're going to see these two files here. Literally just select them all by Control and A, and we're going to paste that into our folder. And like I said, I don't need to do that because I've done that. Once you do that though, they'll be inside the game folder. Then we're going to navigate to the extra options. We're going to do the exact same thing. It's going to tell you it's going to overwrite something, so just go ahead and tell it yes. And then you'll have the files that you need in the folder. Then we're going to do the DgVoodoo. So we're going to take those files, select them all, copy, and we're going to paste it on the folder that has the game. And like I said, I've already done that. But once you've done all those steps, you should see something like this on your screen. Then we're going to go into the scripts folder, and we want to make sure that everything's extracted correctly. So you should see all these files in there once you've followed the process I just showed you. So the first thing we're going to do is here, before we even launch the game, we're going to go in here. And if you leave this at 0, it's going to do the resolution that you have your monitor set to natively. So, if you have, 2K, 3K, whatever, it's going to match that if you do 0. If you want to put a custom one in, then just go ahead and put the numbers for that, like 1920 by 1080. Or, whatever you want, go ahead and put that in there. And it'll go to that one. My native resolution right now is 1080p, so I'm going to leave it at that. And then there's other options here that you can fix. So you can do the scaling here. I've set mine both the FOV and the scaling to 1. So you need to make sure that the fixed FOV needs to be enabled if you want the scaling to work correctly. So 1 and 1 on both of these. You can set this to fix the HUD widescreen mode. 1 will make the movies appear widescreen. So you can go ahead and set that to 1. No, 1 will be cropped, 2 will be stretched, I'm sorry. So it depends on how you want to see those. I advise you turn the skip intro, because if not, it's going to try and play that movie every time you select, start the game. And then for here, I have borderless windows, so you can pick from any of these options here that you want. For windowed mode, it shows you all the options here. So you can do borderless, border, resizable border, borderless full screen, which is what I have, and borderless full screen stretched. And this depends on your gamepad. If you wanted to show the Xbox icons, all right, we had a little siren there in the background. So if you want to do the Xbox icons, you want to leave that game support at 1. PlayStation icons, you want to put that at 2. None, put it at 3. Now, in order for this to work, you need to make sure you have an X input gamepad. If not, it's not going to show the changes. The S limit, you want to leave that at -1, will give you the refresh rate of your computer. If you want to double that, just go ahead and put -2. And then sometimes the games will show you a black background in the magazine covers. If you do the 1, it should fix that for you. So once you've made those changes, go ahead and hit save. Now this one, we're not going to go through all the options because it does have a lot of them. So on this one, the one that I focused on the most was the it has some extra camera modes, and that's the one that I enabled. You can actually do a ton of stuff on here. As you can see, you can freeze the camera, unlock everything. You can change the lap counters on here. So there's a lot of stuff that you can do on here. But like I said, all I did was enable the hidden camera modes on here for the number 1 and left everything else default. But like I said, if you have time, you want to go through this, there's a lot of things on here that you can fix. You also want to do the skip movies on here also to make sure those movies don't start when you start the movie. So once you have that done, you can go ahead and just save that and close that also. If it gives you this message, just save it to your desktop. And then just grab it from there and paste it into your folder if it tells you can't overwrite it or it can't save it in this location. So simply save it to your desktop and then just paste it back in here. Once you're done with that, now we're going to launch the DgVoodoo. Now once this launches, the first thing you want to make sure of is that this location here is corresponding with the folder location. So just make sure this matches. It should do it by default. Just in case it doesn't, make sure you hit add and change the location to match the game. General, if you have a higher end video card, go ahead and pick DirectX 12. These I left default. So basically, you just go ahead and match these. If you want the scan lines, you're going to go here and pick this aspect ratio CRT line, and you get those scan lines. Then from there, we can jump over to DirectX. We set the resolution through the INI file, so leave this at unforced. I tried doing the anti-lacing when I activated this. The screen went black when I launched it, so if it does that for you, just go ahead and leave this off. If you want to compensate for that, you can go ahead and set the filtering over here, which I set to 16, and it worked fine. So force VSync, so you don't get any tear when the game is running. You don't want the screen to tear on you. And you can choose to leave the voodoo mark on to make sure if it's working correctly. You'll see the watermark on the bottom right, or you can choose to leave it off, and you can tell it's working if you see the scan lines if you activated them earlier. So let's go ahead and hit apply. We're going to go ahead and launch the game. And just a heads up, if you have either an NVIDIA or a AMD card and you try and change the anti-lacing or other features through your through the menu, for example, I have an AMD, so mine would look like this. And then you want to add the game here. If you try and add the game with the original title of the executable, for some odd reason it will not show up, and I believe it does that because one of the other Need for Speed games also has the same speed.exe. So what I did was just change that to U at the end of speed, and I did that so I'm able to add it through the the video AMD configurator. But that's all if you even need it. But just in case you do and it doesn't show up, just go ahead and add the U to the speed name here and rename it, and let's go ahead and launch that. And as you can see, the scan lines are on. So we'll just go ahead and launch this here real quick so you can kind of see the advantages of having those options on. Like this is another thing it does here by default. This window will pop up and you can change the laps right here. So let's go ahead and do a quick one here. I'm going to show you the differences in the camera. As you can see, that looks good. Now, once you start the game, you can change the cameras. I'll do it as I'm racing here so you can see the differences. So this is a default one. This one here is also default. This one's default. Now the next one is going to give you a view you've probably never seen while racing, which is this one here, which is kind of cool. So as you can see, the game runs fine. Now remember, this is all going to be independent of your computer system processing power and things like that. I have an AMD built-in, that the Ryzen 5600G. That's the processor that has the graphics processor built in, so there is no separate graphics card. We'll just go ahead and finish the lap here. As you can see, the filtering at the 16X did kind of make up for me not being able to activate the anti-lacing, but it does look good on here like this. And again, this is just 1080p. If your card can handle it, you can go, as high as your computer will do. There we are. So that is it for that. If you guys like the video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up on the comment section. If you have questions, post them there also. If you have not subscribed, please do so, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Have a great one.